the eyes. Welcome everyone, thank you for being here. Let's go into our practice. So we are going to start today on our mats in the hands and knees position. And I'm going to tuck my toes to start. And I'm going to keep my knees connected to the mat. I'm going to spread the toes as much as possible. We're going to just stay for a moment here, trying to let the sitting bones drop towards your heels. Notice if the heels are widening or going out. See if you can bring them towards each other. And as we sit here for a moment, instead of holding the belly in, sometimes we try to kind of like tense there. See if you can soften that and just release the weight of your body towards the heels. Of course, if this feels like it's too intense, you can come a little further forward or put your fingertips down to balance that weight that is going onto your feet so it's less intense. But I want us to really feel the sensation and the energy of grounding and becoming heavy towards earth. So just a few breaths here. And remember the breath, the home where you return at all times whenever you find yourself lost. Then see if you can keep your spine tall, bring the arms in front, lace the fingers, press your palms away from you and bring the arms up towards the skies or the ceiling. And if this feels like it's really becoming intense in your heels or the backs of your feet, then you come a little further forward, like I said before, and it's not so straight and it's okay, okay? If you can, you extend through the elbows, you press through the palms, taking a deep inhalation through the nose. Then exhale. One more time, inhaling. And then with the exhale, release the arms, bring your hands towards the hands and knees, and tuck the toes, and just shake a little bit or move there the feet if you need. If the knees were close to each other, bring them a little further out with the hands grounded under the shoulders. I'm just dialing my fingers a touch out away from each other, away from the midline of the mat. We'll inhale and take the cow shape. Opening the front of the spine, exhaling, rounding, and taking that cat shape. And again, inhaling, shoulder blades back, exhaling, navel to nose, bringing that front into the back. Again, inhaling, and exhale. And one more, inhale, and exhale. Good, then we're going to come into the neutral, and we're going to do another movement that we are going to generate from our ribs. So from the ribs, imagine you can create a circle. So I'm going to bring my ribs towards my body first. It's a little bit like the cat-cow, but I'm bringing the ribs in, then towards one side, then I'm letting them drop down, then I'm taking them to the opposite side, and then I'm kind of like tucking them into the back of my body again. And then again, my ribs going to the one side, then letting them drop, then taking them to the opposite side, and then drawing them into my body. Again, same side, and then down, like if I'm letting them widen, then taking them to the side, and then up. One more, same side, and then we switch. Ribs to the side that you chose, then down, then coming towards the opposite side, and then drawing them up again. Good, come back to the neutral, and now we are going to switch sides. So whichever side you didn't do, I'm starting by taking the ribs into my body, then to the opposite side of the one I started before, then I'm letting them drop, and then coming again up towards my back. And again, to the side, and down, the opposite side, and up into my body. Two more, go with your breath. Just let the natural breath in your body go with this little flow, and again. And then one more. Ribs, it's mostly run by the ribs, this movement, and then up and back to the tabletop. Good. From here, we are going to inhale the right arm up. I'm going to exhale, thread that right arm to the left, coming with the right cheek down. And from here, I'm going to use today my left hand to catch my right forearm or wrist, and I'm going to push it away from my body. So you'll feel a stretch in the right shoulder blade and that right side moving more towards the left because I'm pushing my right arm away from my body. So inhale here and exhale. And then again, inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale. And then with the exhale, left hand comes back to be the support next to your face. Push the mat away and come back into that hands and knees. We'll switch sides, inhaling left arm up. Exhaling, threading that left arm to the right. I'm dropping the left cheek down. And now with my right hand, I'm going to catch left wrist and push my left arm away, so I can feel a little bit more of that stretch and twist towards the right side. 3 breaths here. Notice where the breath is going in your body. Notice the sensations. Relax the face. Good, and then use your right hand next to your face to help you come up and return to the tabletop. From here, I'm going to again dial my hands just an inch out away from the midline, move my knees a few inches behind the hips, tuck the toes, and we slowly start pushing up towards the down dog. We start slow, so just push through the hands and start activating your arms, making space through the collarbones, sending the sitting bones up towards the skies. Let the lower back arch a little for this one, first time, or perhaps one of the first bigger movements now. And just feel that sensation of stretching the sides of your body and starting to tone your muscles towards your bones in your legs. So the thighs are starting to activate more, creating more opening in the backs of your legs. If you need to keep the knees bent, keep the knees bent. I don't know if you can see, but my heels are high for now. I still didn't bring them down. I'm just creating more space in the whole spine. Then slowly I'm going to try and activate more of my core by bringing or drawing the pelvic floor up, hips in towards the midline of my pelvis, and then my front ribs coming down towards the hips. Okay, from there, I'm going to start slowly trying to activate more my muscles in the front of the legs to send the legs further back and down towards the back of my mat. Good, take a few breaths here. Relax the neck, let the head be heavy. Feel the toning action in the arms. Try to create a soft release of the neck as the shoulders stay away from the ears without forcing that. Good, and then we are going to walk the hands back towards the feet, and we are going to make the feet be as wide as the mat. Okay, so my feet are wide at the edges of my mat. Bend the knees if you need to do that. And from here, drawing the lower belly in, I'm going to release the torso and release the head and the neck. If you need blocks in front or something to hold you there, please put it. And just here, either with the knees bent or without, release first the trunk, draw the lower belly a little further up, and from there, start creating a lift from your inner arches towards your inner shins. And from the inner shins, lift that up into your inner knees, inner thighs, all the way up to your groins. Take a few breaths. Good, and then bend your knees a little and just let the hips go from side to side. So just a little bit of movement here in this wide stand, wide forward fold really. So we move the hips just a little. You can bend one knee a little more and then the other. Good, and then from there, we are going to walk the feet a little closer. So maybe 1 foot size in for each side. And from there, bending the knees a little deeper, we are going to come into the Utkatasana or chair pose. It's a chair pose with my knees wide, right? So the legs are not together. I'm going to try and drop. It's like a mix between a squat and a chair. I'm going with my sitting bones heavy, and I'm going to try to have the weight of my body mostly on my heels. And from there, I'm going to lift the chest, lift the abdomen, sit a little further back. Inhale here. Exhale, see if you can go a little deeper towards the heels, ribs in. One more breath. And then exhale and release the trunk over the legs again and walk yourself back into the downward facing dog. Deep inhalation, pushing the floor away with your hands. Again, perhaps a little bit of that dialing action through the hands to open up collarbones and chest. Good. And then from there, we'll inhale towards the plank. Slowly. And then we return to downward facing dog. Good. We'll do this one a few more times. Slowly drawing abdomen in. Inhale towards the plank. Lengthening the front of the spine. Pushing it with your heels to the back of the room. And then exhale, come back. One more, inhaling towards the plank. Good, in this one you can use your knees if you want or come all the way down to your mat. Good, once we come down onto the mat, we're going to bring the forearms in front. I'm going to keep my hands one on top of the other. My elbows are wide. I'm going to tuck the toes and I'm going to walk my toes in as much as I can. Drawing the navel in and the sacrum long. I'm going to push into the mat with my forearms and palms, and from there I'm going to inhale and lift the sternum, like if I'm doing a cobra. So I'm sending shoulders back, drawing belly in. I'm really pushing through my heels to tone my legs a lot. Inhale. Exhale, stay. One more breath. Good, then exhale, release here, untuck your toes, bring your hands under the shoulders, and we take a regular cobra, rolling the shoulders back, draw the navel in, inhale, lift up, exhale, chin to your left, inhale to center, exhale, chin to the right, inhale to center, exhale, release, tuck your toes, go through the tabletop, and then we go up, downward facing dog. Big inhale, and exhale. And from here, we'll send the right leg up and back. Right foot will come forward in between the hands, and then bring the left knee down for a moment. Good. Okay, now from here, you know how many times we stay with the fingertips touching? Today I want to do something different. So we're going to place the palms down and let them touch. So you're even going to be a little bit rounded on your upper back, which is okay. And from there, keeping the energy low, so it's really heavy into the floor. Lift your left knee, but just like 1 inch, like I'm showing there. So it's like 1 inch off the floor, and the weight is still heavy towards the mat. Okay, just that. Inhale here. Let the hips drop. I'm just letting my left knee stay a little over the floor. And my hands are even completely grounded. Breathe in and out. Good. Then see if you can tone the inner legs a little bit more towards each other. I'm going to use a little bit more of the legs there so I can put my hands onto my hips and then come up towards the high lunge. I'm not extremely toning that leg yet. I want that heaviness in the body to stay there so I'm more grounded and I can let go a little bit more of the pelvic floor and the hips into earth, okay? Then I'm toning that left leg a little bit more, so I'm hugging more of those muscles into the bones. Inhaling, both arms up. Exhaling, stay there. The spine is tall, but the energy of the legs is really heavy towards earth. You may be feeling a little bit more of that action of opening in that left groin. One more breath. Good, then exhale, release, back to down dog with that right leg. Inhaling to the plank. Exhale, coming down. Inhaling cobra. Exhaling down dog. Good, let's go to the second side. Left leg goes up. Left foot comes forward. Right knee, I'm going to take it down to the mat for a moment. Once I have that, I'm going to plant both my hands. If you need a block or anything to put there, add them. And I'm going to let my hips drop a little more and just lift my right knee 1 inch off the mat. I'm staying with my upper back a little rounded, it's okay. And I'm letting my pelvis become heavy, almost like a really heavy bag of water dropping towards earth. Stay there for a moment, breathing through the nose. Good, then I'm toning the inner legs a little more so I have more stability, coming onto my fingertips, hands to the hips first, and then lifting up to the crescent. Good. See if you can bend the front knee a little deeper, toning that back leg. Draw the abdomen in and up, and from there we send the arms up. Lengthen through the sides without losing that connection to earth. One more. On your exhale, find that downward facing dog again. And your choice if you want to add the vinyasa, if you don't want, stay in down dog. If you want to add, we come to the plank. You can also do your knees first, then the chest and the chin, then slowly slide, opening up, and then to downward facing dog. Good. Okay, let's go again. Inhaling, right leg goes up. Right foot comes forward. This time I'm going to turn the back foot parallel to the end of your mat, bending the front knee first. And again, I'm going to let that right sitting bone drop. So it's a little different, opening here in the legs. But I'm going to again let that sitting bone be heavy. So it's almost a little mix of a squat again and a warrior two. So I'm letting that right sitting bone drop, stay there, press into the back foot, and then bring the right arm inside the right foot and walk your arms to your left, just a little, like if you were going to take a downward facing dog, pushing the floor away. I'm letting that left hip stay a little high, it's fine, but I want to bring the right hip towards the back of my mat. So I'm sending that right hip back towards the back foot and push the floor away with your arms, with your hands, relaxing the neck and the head. One more breath. Then slowly return with your hands, arms back towards the front of your mat. And from there, pressing through the feet, let's come up. Warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Bring that back foot a little closer if you need. If not, stays the same. And we lengthen into the triangle. The right hand can go to the floor or your shin, or a block if you have it there. Lengthen through the sides, send the shoulders back, extend the left arm up towards the ceiling, and see if you can make your front ribs move into your body and down. One more breath. Good, then from there we rebend the front knee. We come to the warrior two. Turn your right palm to face up. Inhale, lengthen the torso towards the front. Exhale, reverse. Drop that right sitting bone, hug the hips in. Inseam of the left leg is lifting up towards your bones. One more breath. Good, then we come back and we are going to set the right forearm on top of the right thigh. Keep the left hand onto your left hip. Just drop that front hip bone and sitting bone down, and then spin the chest and the belly up towards the skies. I'm going to send my left arm up, but I'm also going to bend the elbow and put the hand behind the skull to lean back a little and keep sending that left elbow up and over, so it's going up to the ceiling and over to the right. Good, one more breath, drawing the ribs in and down, spinning the chest up. Good, back to warrior two. Bring both hands to frame the front foot, back to down dog. Take your vinyasa if you want it here or stay in down dog. Breathing in and out. One more breath. And we'll take the second side. Inhaling, left leg goes up and back. Left foot comes forward. I'm going to change so you can see me. Back foot turns all the way parallel to the back end of your mat. Bending the front knee, we stay here for a moment. We're going to drop the left sitting bone. So it's almost like taking a little bit of a squat here. I'm letting the hip bone and the sitting bone drop. I'm pushing into the back foot. Take a breath. Good, and then I'm going to walk the left arm inside the left leg and walk my hands out to the left side of to the right side of the mat. And from there, I'm going to push the floor away and keeping that right hip a little high. I'm going to try and drop the left hip a little down and back towards the back foot. Relax the head, push the mat away. One more breath. Good, then we slowly return towards the front foot. Tone the legs again. We are going to lift up just for a moment into the warrior two, and then we straighten the front leg. Good, from here we take triangle. So draw the sides of the torso up, relax the shoulder blades down, lengthen through the front side, and we come to triangle pose. Try to calm your ribs down towards your hips. Squeeze the sitting bones, glutes towards each other, shoulder blades back behind the chest. And if the neck feels funny or uncomfortable or tense today, you can always bring the head down towards the toes. Good, one more breath here. Good, bending the front knee, we come towards the warrior two. Press through the outer edges of your feet, ground through your heels, turn the left palm up. Inhale, go towards the left side, and exhale, bring it over. One more breath. Back to the warrior two. This time the left forearm will come onto the left thigh. I'm dropping that left hip as much as I can. We are opening that left inner thigh and sending it back towards the bones. Good, and then right arm will go up. I'm going to bend the elbow and put the hand behind the skull and lean back a little so I can send the belly and the chest up towards the skies. Pressing into that outer edge of your back foot. Notice your breath. Slowly coming back, warrior two. Good, bring your hands down, back to down dog. And then bring the knees down, widen the knees, sit back towards your heels, and take the child's pose. In the child's pose, give yourself a chance to recover the breath, to reset. Notice sensations after this sequence. Check in with any thoughts arising. 2 more cycles here, trying to even out the breath, make it smooth. And then we'll slowly return to down dog from here, lifting up. This one is one that it's a little bit more quiet on the floor. So I'm going to start with the right leg going up and back. And then I'm going to bend that right knee and bring it towards the right wrist for a pigeon shape. So the front shin is more or less trying to come parallel to the front edge of your mat. That doesn't mean that it has to be completely parallel, mine is not. And I'm going to tuck my back toes, lift the back knee, and walk that leg a little further back and try to bring that left hip to face down towards the floor, towards the mat. And then from there, I'm going to reset the left knee down. And if you want, you can untuck the toes. I'm not going to go into a full fold here because I want to stay with the hips a little bit more level, meaning that if I fold, sometimes if I fold over, sometimes that right hip is going to drop to the side, and I don't want that. I want that right hip to move back towards the back of the mat. And from there, you can use your hands or to a block to lift the trunk, send the shoulder blades down. We are adding a little bit of a back bend here, lengthen the sacrum towards your back foot, draw the navel in and up, and take a few breaths. One more. Good, and then we put the hands down and we'll tuck the back toes to go back to downward facing dog. Pedal your feet a few times. And we'll switch into the second side. Inhaling, left leg goes up and back. Left knee comes towards the left wrist. I'm bringing the shin towards being parallel. Mine is not, so I'm just giving a reference here. And then I'm going to walk the right leg back as much as I can by tucking my toes. I'm going to try and bring my right hip to face down towards my mat and then reset the knee down. After that, if you want, you can untuck the toes. I'm using just my hands onto the mat or fingertips. You can, of course, bring blocks or a folded blanket and put it there. And now I'm going to try and send my right outer hip towards the back of my mat. Sorry, left outer hip towards the back of the mat. So I'm going to kind of like try to steer that outer hip towards the back as I draw navel in and up, relaxing shoulders down, lifting the sternum towards the ceiling or the wall in front of you. Stay here for a few breaths. Steady the breath. to help slow down the mind. One more breath. Good. And from this one, I'm going to come out a little different. So I'm going to gently lean towards the left side to sit on that side and bring the right leg in front. Okay, I'm going to turn so I can face you to show you what's coming. You may need blanket or blocks for extra support for the next one. Now what I'm going to do is mirroring you guys. I'm going to bring my left shin in front so it's parallel to my pelvis, and then I'm going to bring the opposite leg on top, and I'm going to try and line up right heel on top of the left knee, and then right knee on top of the left heel. Now, as you can see in my example, there is a space in between one of the sides, which it's very common. And for that, you can add a roll blanket, a pillow if you have at home, maybe a pet, or a block like I'm doing, okay? And sometimes a good help to line up this and make it a little bit more balanced or work more into the posture, I'm gonna show you, is to put your hands down behind you. The foot that is on the floor, which is your left, you use it to push firmly down into the floor, and you lift yourself a little, widening the sitting bones and the thighs back, and then you reset the seat. It's intense, but it's very helpful for hips and thighs and IT band. So then I re-put there my block for me, and then we are sitting tall. Your choice, if you want to come a little further forward, that will intensify the sensations, and we'll stay here for a good amount of breaths. Try to become soft in the skin of your face. Relax your outer ears, your tongue, and your jaws. Then we slowly walk ourselves back towards the upright seat. If you were folding over, if you had the support, take it out, and we'll slowly undo the shape, shake it a little if you need, and we'll switch sides. When you are ready, now it's the right shin, the one that is under, and the left one will go on top. And again, I'm trying to line up knee to heel, heel to knee. And like you can see in my body, one side is usually very different than the other. It depends a lot on our activities and the dominant leg and all of those things. So you may need more or less support for the second side. And again, I'm going to do my trick. I'm going to put my hands behind. I'm going to push myself a little bit out. I'm using the foot that is on the floor to help me ground and lift a little more. And then I'm widening my sitting bones back, and my thigh bones also, and muscles, and then reseating myself, and then finding the seat. Good. With or without extra supports, I'm going to sit here tall for a moment. And if this feels already pretty intense, you stay sitting tall, taking a few breaths. If you feel like you want to add the fold, then adding the fold. We'll stay here again for a little bit. One more steady, long breathing cycle to help you ground and settle and root. And then from there, slowly returning. Good, taking the legs out, shaking them again a little. Good. From here, we are going to have the legs extended for a moment, and we'll start with the right knee. I'm going to bend the knee, put the heel as close as my right sitting bone as I can, lifting the spine first. Left hand will go to the left side, and I'm going to bring my right arm inside the right leg. So it's a little different than the usual twist. I'm going to press that arm into the inside of the leg, lifting myself from the bottom of the pelvic floor, and then creating an open twist towards the left. Inhaling here. Exhale. Softening the jaws. One more breath. Good, and then slowly returning. That same leg, the right one, I'm going to bring it over to the left, and I'm going to let my right knee drop on top of the left knee. So I'm not putting my foot down, but I'm letting it like rest on the side, okay? Good, from here, both my arms and my trunk, we are going to twist them to the right. So I'm moving to the other side, lifting the abdomen and the chest, and creating a twist to that side. A few breaths here. And then slowly returning towards the neutral. And from here, I'm going to add a little more. If this feels appropriate, you add it. If it doesn't feel okay, you stay sitting tall, and you can repeat the twist if you want. I'm going to try and fold over the legs. If the hands are easily catching your left foot, you can go there. If not, you can keep the hands framing the extended leg, and just drop a little bit here. The idea is to try and lengthen the spine and not be completely rounded in this one. So I'm trying to lengthen. If you can do that and also extend the arms towards the foot, you do that. You can also put the bell there, or like I said, repeat the twist towards your right if you feel like you're extremely rounded, okay? I'm trying to lengthen the sternum forward, and I'm trying to really push through that left heel to activate the underside of my leg and also open up the calf. Good, then we slowly return. Bring that right leg back to the right, shake a little. We'll switch sides. Now I'm going to bend the left knee, putting that left heel close to my sitting bone, as close as it goes, trying to stay tall, activating those back muscles to create more strength and lift. Right hand to the right. And I'm going to now send my left arm inside the left leg. I'm bending the elbow and I'm pushing my arm into the leg, but the leg is not dropping out, it's pushing in, right? So it's a little bit of a tug of war, pushing into each other, lifting the spine, sending the belly and the chest towards the right. 3 breaths here. Soften the areas that you don't need to keep active. Then we return, we release that left arm, and now I'm going to bring that left leg over to the right. And instead of pressing the foot down, I'm just letting the left knee drop over the right one or close to that, sitting tall. First, we take the twist. I'm going to bring both my arms, my chest, my belly towards the left. Lift there, and you go as far as it goes for you, just creating that twist. A few breaths. You can go a little further if you want, or keep it closer to the mat. Then slowly returning towards the neutral. And from here, the second part, lifting through the spine, perhaps folding a little over that extended leg and grabbing the foot, or maybe not if that is not happening today. So you can return to the twist or coming to this fold with an extended front spine. Again, an option if you want to open up more of the calf muscle. I'm pushing through the heel and even tucking my toes, as you can see, trying to bring them in. That will fire more of that area in the underside of the leg. Then slowly returning, taking that left leg back next to the right one. And from here, we'll come onto our backs for another short sequence. Good. Once you come onto your back, take your right knee in towards your chest. Make a basket with your hands, lacing the fingers. Press that right thigh to your hands and extend the right leg up. If you have the belt and you prefer to do it with the belt, you can do that. Extending through the heel and then keeping that action of lengthening all the way to the base of the toes. If you want, you can extend the left leg. Take a couple of breaths. Good. Then we are going to rebend the right knee into the chest and bend the left knee to put the foot back on your mat again. And I'm going to take the right foot for half a happy baby. And in this one, I'm keeping my left knee bent on purpose so I can play a little bit with bringing that right knee over to the right. You see how my left side is lifting a little, which is on purpose. I'm letting it do that. And then I'm returning. So I'm kind of like swinging a little bit from side to side. Just a few times. And then I'm returning towards the center, a happy middle in between the two. And I'm pushing the foot down as I'm pressing also with my foot into the hand. Just for a moment there. Good, and then I'm going to take the right foot to the left. So with my left hand, I'm going to hold that foot and I'm going to have my shin in front of my chest. If you want, you can re-extend the left leg or keep it bent. And what I'm doing is that I'm recreating the pigeon shape, but this time I'm reclined. So I'm holding with both my hands a gentle shift here, right? So the shins are facing the chest, the shin is facing the chest. And then from there, if you want, you can move that shin from side to side. So with my hands, I'm helping that movement right in front of the chest to move from side to side. We are oiling and lubricating the hip joints. So we go a little bit side to side. Then you can stay back at the center and bring the shin a little closer if you want. Try to send your right hip down towards the bottom of your mat. Good, and then slowly release. Put that right leg next to the left. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good, let's take the last portion, the second side. We make a basket again, bringing the left knee in. Put the fingers and the palms behind that thigh and lift that leg up. We extend through the leg, pressing the front of your thigh towards your hands, pushing through the heel and then a little further up through the base of your toes. I'm trying to keep my right leg active, the one that it's not up aerial, the one that is on the mat, it's still active, pressing down, pushing through the heel. And then slowly bending that left knee. You can bend the right knee again, so we have support there to start that happy baby. And with this happy baby, I'm going to let the knee come down towards the floor, lifting the opposite side. The right hip or glute is lifted, and then I'm returning. And then again. Just a few, 3 or 4 like that, swinging. One more. Good, and then now I'm pressing that left foot down towards the mat. The foot is pushing up towards the ceiling. If you want, you can extend the right leg or keep it bent, your choice. Good, and then we'll take with the right hand, the left foot, and bring the shin towards the chest, okay? Don't force it because this is a big movement for the knee. So you go as far as it feels like it's enough for you. You can hold on the other side, and then we'll move that shin from side to side, which is really activating the hip joint on that left side. So I'm like sliding shin from one side to the other, helping it with my hands, of course, to do the movement, maybe a couple of times, and then you return towards the chest, and if you want, you can stay there, even go a little further if you want to hold from the underside. Good, one more breath. Then slowly release that leg, extend it towards the top of your mat, meeting the other leg, and just let them drop for a moment. Take a breath here without doing anything, just to sink and feel the sensations in your legs, your hips, your pelvis, the effect of this practice. And then we'll slowly from here take the last posture, bringing both knees to the chest. Let them drop to your left. Bring the left hand on top of your right knee to help them ground a little more. Right arm up overhead to stretch and open that side. You can also choose to have the right arm into the cactus shape and the chin goes to the right. Relaxing the shoulders, dropping there. Good, then slowly bring both legs back to center, chin back to center, reset the hips if you need, making space for the second side, both knees to the chest, let them drop to the right, right hand holding the left or gently pressing the left knee down, and left arm, like I said before, it can go over the head and stretch that side a little bit further back, or you can have the shape of the goalpost there to rest both sides in the shoulders, the chest, chin to the left, unless that doesn't feel good. Try to invite your jaws to relax. You can even move the jaws from side to side a couple of times. Then relax the tongue on top of that bottom palate. Eyelids heavy, and let your eyeballs start moving again away from the eyelids and back towards the back of your head. Good, then slowly returning and extending the legs, extending the arms alongside your torso. Wiggle and shift the way you need to make this shape, the shape of Shavasana, the corpse pose. if you need to add props, pillows, blankets, or anything, or maybe even close shade or anything to make the room more appropriate for the rest, please do. And now we let go. After the whole practice, we return to earth and we begin dropping, connecting, feeling held by earth.